Yes, now you can tell me what was the last topic we discussed? Yesterday we completed section number 148, right or wrong?
Yes.
148 subsection number 1 talks about cost accounts. 148 subsection number 2 talks about cost accounts. So 148 subsection number 1 will have one rule called as rule 3. 148 subsection number 2 will have another rule called as rule 4. Rule 3 is for cost records. Rule 4 is all about cost audit. Okay. Thereafter we discussed appointment of cost auditor. Okay. Who appoints the cost auditor? Board of directors. Who can remove the cost auditor? Board of directors. Who will fix the remuneration? Board of directors will recommend if there is no audit committee. If the company is having the audit committee, then the audit committee will recommend to board of directors. Board of directors will approve the same, and members will ratify the same. If there is no audit committee, then board of directors will directly fix, and who will ratify? Members will ratify. So removal can also be done by whom? Board of directors. What is casual vacancy? What is casual vacancy? Casual vacancy means any vacancy which is arrived because of death, removal, resignation, and the office of the cost auditor is vacant now, and it should be filled up by whom? Board of directors. Okay, board of directors again. This is also over. And once the auditor is appointed, the company is required to intimate to whom? Central government. Auditor is appointed, the company is required to intimate to central government. And the cost auditor, after doing the audit, he needs to give the cost audit report. To whom? Not directly central government. It is to be given to board of directors. The company needs to file that audit report to whom? Central government. So cost auditor needs to give to board of directors. Board of directors again on behalf of the company will file those cost audit report to whom? Central. Okay, this is what we discussed. And one more concept we just need to see. Did you remember the concept called as rotation? Rotation of auditors. In CMA Inter, every 5 years ki once we just need to rotate our auditors. This is for financial auditor. It is the audit which is done by CA, not CMA. For CMA, there is no concept called as rotation. So it is all at the discretion of board of directors only. If they want to continue the old auditor, they can continue. If they want to change the old auditor and replace him with new auditor, it is the decision of whom? Board of directors only. There is no statutory law which says the rotation of the cost auditor. Very easy. Simple or not? Yes. So ikkada varaku we have completed. Now we'll discuss something related to the declarations that needs to be filed. So once the auditor is appointed, what are the declarations that needs to be given before he is appointed? The declaration should be given by whom? Cost auditor. The cost auditor needs to give a declaration. There are 4 points. Okay. So those are the declarations which should be given by the cost. Keep the side heading. What is the side heading? Declarations that can be given by whom? Declarations that can be given by cost audit. Cost auditor. Master, book thalada? Declarations that should be given by cost auditor. Simple points only. Declarations by whom? Cost audit. Yesterday, when I was discussing qualifications and disqualifications, I talked about section number 141. Section number 141, which was not discussed completely, but I just specified the number, which is called as 141. 141 talks about qualification and disqualification of the auditors. If you can remember, 9 points are there in 141 disqualifications. 9 points. Body, corporate. Point number 2, officer or employee of the company. Partnership firm is eligible. LLP is also eligible. It doesn't come under disqualifications. Employment of key managerial personnel relative. That's the point. So this is section number 141. That section number 141 is as it is applicable for cost audit rules. So 141 is usually applicable for whom? CA. The same provisions are now applicable for CMA also. Okay. If he is not qualified under 141, he is ineligible to conduct the cost audit. Okay. So now he needs to give a declaration to the company that he is qualified. He is not disqualified under 141. This is the declaration he needs to file. Okay. What is the declaration? He is not disqualified under section number 141. What is 141? Qualifications and disqualification. Qualification means nothing but he must be a cost accountant who is in practice. Who is in practice. And what is disqualification? He is a cost accountant, but he is ineligible to conduct the audit. He is a cost accountant who is also in practice. He is qualified, but he is unable to do the audit because of certain reasons. And those reasons are called as what? Disqualifications. Now, as a part of declarations, he needs to file one thing called as what? He needs to say he is not disqualified. He is not disqualified. Under which section? 140. That is the first declaration he needs to file. Right? Point number 1. What is that? The individual, he may be an individual cost accountant, individual who is in practice, or a firm of cost accountants, a partnership firm of cost accountants, is not what is that? Yes, is not disqualified under section number 141. Under section number 141. Okay, this is the first declaration. Point number 2. Point number 2. The individual or firm is qualified to be a cost auditor. Qualified to be a cost auditor. Try to understand the difference. Qualification is different. Disqualification is different. Qualification is nothing but being a cost accountant who is in practice, or being a cost accountant who already entered into a partnership with other cost accountants or other similar kind of professions. A cost accountant may be entering into an agreement with CA also. Okay. But who should sign the cost audit report? There are two partners in a firm. One he is cost accountant, another one he is a chartered accountant. So is this firm eligible to do the audit? Cost audit. Yes, but who should sign? Only cost auditor should sign. And hence the firm or individual must be eligible to be a cost auditor for a company. So first point, he is not disqualified. Second point, it must be qualified. So these are the two declarations that we need to give to the company. And point number 3. Come to point number 3. Okay. Individual or firm is eligible to accept the cost audit as such acceptance is within the limits. Generally it is 20 companies. Generally it is what? 20 companies. For 20 companies, they can accept the audit. For 20 companies, they can accept the audit. Easy? ఈ వెనక రిమోట్ ఉందేమో చూడండి, ఎక్కడైనా చిన్న రిమోట్ ఉందా? ఓకే. So, can a cost auditor accept unlimited cost audits? No. Only it is limited to 20 companies. So, if he is within the limit of 20, he can accept. If he already accepted 20 companies, it is not possible for him to accept the 21st audit. So, he needs to give a declaration that now he is accepting an audit and it is within the limits which are covered. Okay, what is the limit? 20 companies usually. So, he is within the limit only. This is what he needs to say by way of declaration. Come to point number 4. The firm or individual or any of the partners are not having any pending cases and litigations in any statutory authority, litigations in any pending cases in any cases or litigations in any cases or litigations in any statutory authority. Hello సార్, 10 o'clockకి ఫోన్ చేయనా? ఒక రికార్డింగ్ అవుతుంది. సరే. లిటిగేషన్స్ ఇన్ ఎనీ statutory authority or courts in India or outside India. Cases or litigations in any statutory authority or court in India or outside India. Very simple. So, fourth declaration, there should not be any litigation which is pending on such individual or firm or any partner of the firm. If there are any cases which are pending, then it is not eligible to accept the audit. Okay, so these are the 4 declarations. First one, they are not disqualified. Second one, they are qualified. Point number 3, they are within the limits only. When they accept the audit, they are within the limits covered, that is 20. And what is fourth point? There is no cases which is pending on the individual, partner or firm in India or outside India. Then they are eligible to accept the audit. That's it. So these are the 4 declarations they need to give to the company. Okay, and then the company may appoint this person as cost auditor. Company and who appoints? Board of directors. Board of directors will appoint the cost auditor, who is a cost accountant. Very simple. So now there are 4 activities. I just want to write it here. 1, maintenance of cost records. Maintenance of cost records. Point number 2, intimation of appointment of cost auditor. Either he may be a original cost auditor or casual vacancy cost auditor. You know casual vacancy cost auditor? After a valid appointment is made, first appointment is done and his place becomes vacant, and in his place some other auditor will come into picture. There may be a case where in a financial year, 2 auditors, one after one. This may be the case. So these appointments are to be intimated to whom? Central government. Company needs to intimate this appointment of cost auditor or auditors to whom? Central government. This is the second case. Intimation of appointment of cost auditor or auditors. In case of beautiful. In case of what? Casual vacancy, then the company needs to intimate to whom? Central government. Okay. Casual vacancy intimation must be given to whom? CG. CG. Okay. Come to point number 3. Submission of cost audit report. First, who submits to whom? Submitting the cost audit report. Cost audit report by cost auditor to company. Company means board of directors. Okay. Fourth point. The company needs to submit to whom? Yes, central government. The company needs to submit to central government. What is that? They need to submit cost audit. So filing cost audit report by company to whom? To CG. Filing the cost audit report by company to CG. So there are certain forms which are given for all these 4 activities. First one, it is CRA 1. First one, form number CRA 1. Second one is form number CRA 2. Third one, form number CRA 3. Fourth one, it is form number CRA 4. So what is meant by central government in this case? Are you required to talk to Prime Minister Modi? Are you required to file these documents to some other person in central government? So what is central government? To whom we need to file? Ministry of Corporate Affairs. It is the head of all this corporate affairs in India, which talks about companies. Okay. So Ministry of Corporate Affairs, we need to submit these documents. So in these 4 cases, 2 cases are communicating to whom? Central government. 2 and 3. See, CRA 2, CRA 3 ka 4. CRA 2 and CRA 4. CRA 4. These are the 2 documents which talk about communicating with central government. Once you want to talk to central government, you want to submit any file to central government, there must be a language, there must be a format that you need to follow. Okay. So that is XBRL format. There is one format called as XBRL format. Okay. So extensible business reporting language. In this language only we need to speak to whom? Central government. MCA website will accept this kind of language only. So all the information, whatever we need to submit to central government, it must be reported through XBRL language only. To whom? Central government. So for CRA 2 and CRA 4, XBRL is applicable. Extensible business reporting language. That's okay. So 2 and 4, it talks about XBRL language, as it is the communication which is made to Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Ministry of Corporate Affairs. That's it. Simple only. Keep this editing rotation. Rotation of auditors. Generally, rotation of auditors concept is applicable for chartered accountant. So statutory auditor. It is not applicable for cost audit. So it is the discretion of the board of directors whether to change the cost auditor or not. So rotation of statutory auditor concept is not applicable for cost auditor, and hence section number 139. So in 139 it is discussed. Rotation of auditors concept is discussed in section number 139, which is not applicable for cost auditor. Write that point. అరే బుజ్జి అక్కడ ఫోకస్ ఉంది, కొంచెం మార్చు, అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి చెప్పు. ఆ బ్లాక్ ఉంది కదా పైన పైన అది ఉంది కదా, నిమిషం. అయిపోయిందా? వదిలే ఫైన్. Yes, rotation concept, section number 139. Section number 139, rotation concept. Is it applicable for cost auditor? No, it is not applicable for cost audit. So who decides to rotate? Board of directors may decide to rotate the auditor at their discretion, depending upon the service provided by the cost audit. If they like it, if they like the services, then they will continue. If they do not like, they will remove. That's it. Okay. So rotation lo section number 139, rotation of auditors concept is not applicable for cost auditor. Not applicable for cost auditor. Board of directors at their discretion, board of directors at their discretion can rotate the auditors, can rotate the cost auditors, That's it. Okay. We'll see some practical issues now in relation to rule number 3 and rule number 4. I'll discuss again rule number 3 and rule number 4, and it is almost we are at end of the chapter. Okay, end of the chapter, and there are some other problems that we need to discuss later, not now. Okay, this chapter carries 10 marks, and maybe I can divide this chapter into 2 parts: theoretical aspects, practical aspects. So there are some problems, reconciliation statements, ratio analysis that you studied in CMA Inter. So those are the problems which are included in this chapter. Okay, so for the time being, I am taking up only theory part. Later at a time, all the practical problems will be discussed. Okay, so let's have some theoretical discussion only in a practical way. Okay, so read, open rule number 3 and 4. Rule number 3 and 4, MCA website lo. I'm asking you to open in MCA website. Even I will open. MCA website, MCA 21, and go to acts and rules. And thereafter come to chapter number 10. Go to section number 148. Right? Section number 148. In section number 148, subsection number 1, which talks about cost accounts. In that, there is a rule that I just want to click. Rule. See, this is the rule. Clear? Open it. Rule. Okay. Let me read rule number 3 and try to solve some previous examination questions, some practical problems. Okay, so let me read the question. The class of companies, see, application of cost records, the class of companies including foreign companies. So even 148 subsection number 1 is applicable for foreign companies also. Foreign companies also. There are some class of companies including foreign companies engaged in production of goods or services. Engaged in production of goods or producing or providing services. Is the trading activity defined? No. First important point, trading activity is not defined. Okay. Specified in the table below. So I'm just talking about those manufactures or provision of services which are discussed in table number A and table number B. Table number A contains 6, table number B contains 33. Okay. So rule number 3 లో total 33 plus 6 అంటే 39 different sectors are defined. If you are covered in that sectors, then what will happen? Cost accounting records may be applicable. When an overall turnover from all its products, all, it is written there, all, okay, all its products and services of rupees 35 crores or more during the immediately preceding financial year. During the immediately, so the turnover has to be seen for preceding financial year only, and it contains all the products and all the services we need to add, and shall include cost records for such products or services in their books of accounts. In their books of accounts, akkada such products, the word which is used is such products. Okay. The importance of this rule, let me discuss now. Okay. Let me explain with an example. Let us talk about, there is a product X which is being manufactured by some company called as RIL, Ravi Industries Limited. Ravi Industries Limited is the company, and this company manufactured product X, and it also dealing with product Y. Okay, it is also dealing with product Y. And point number 3, it is also in the business of providing services. Some services Z. It is also dealing with providing services Z. Okay. Now, product X, it is discussed in, this is the product which is there in table number A. You know table number A? 6 sectors. 6. Okay. For product Y, they are not into manufacture, they are into trading. Second one, product Y, it is being traded. So they buy goods, they sell goods, called as product Y. So whereas in case of product X, it is manufactured. See here, it is manufactured. Product Y, it is trading. Product Z, it is services, which are discussed again in table A. Okay. Now you tell me, is the cost records rule applicable or not? Yes or no? Is the cost records rule applicable or not? So it is engaged in trading activity. That is what you need to check. Imagine the turnover is crossed. All the turnover is crossed 35 lakhs. The minimum limit is 35 lakhs, right? 35 crores, right? 35 crores. Imagine 35 crores crossed. But I am asking you whether for that entity cost accounting rules are applicable or not. Rule number 3 is applicable or not? Applicable? Yes, it is applicable because it is into manufacture of some goods which are mentioned in table A, or the 39 sectors, 39 products, different products. So in that 39 products, it is covered. So product X is covered in table A, and even product Z is also covered under table A, and hence cost accounting. Cost accounting, I am talking about cost accounting only. It is applicable. And let me write the case. 35 CR, trading 5 CR, okay, and then and then yes, 15. Let me write it as 15. Okay. Total.
35.
Wow. How much is it? 35. Is the cost accounting principles or cost accounting rules applicable or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is applicable. Now my further question. Next question. Am I required to maintain the cost records for this product X or product Y or product Z?
All.
X, Y, Z or all X, Y, Z? Yes, X and Z. X and Z because the word which is given, the word which is used. Read this rule again. See here, there is a company which is engaged in production of, there is a company which is engaged in production of goods or providing services specified below. Specified below under there are 39 sectors. Okay, that's it. Having an overall turnover of all its products. Turnover may be including manufacture, trading, service. All the turnover may be added. In fact, it should be added. So turnover, for the turnover purpose, everything must be added. However, and the turnover exceeds 35 crores or more during the immediately preceding financial year, it shall include cost records for such products. Which products? Such and such products. And those products which are mentioned in table A and B. Only table A and B products are required to be maintained. Those books of accounts are required to be maintained for cost accounting purpose as per rule number 3. Okay. So any other goods which are not covered under table A and table B, it is not required to be maintained. However, the turnover must be included for the purpose of calculation of 35 crores limit. Trading activity must also be included. However, for the purpose of maintenance of cost records, only those companies which are mentioned in rule number 3, that is table A and table number B, must be taken into consideration. Beautiful point. So, such, there is a meaning for that such goods. What is that such goods? Those goods which are mentioned in table A and table B. That's it. Wow. So you can take this example. Example, knowledge capsule. There is a company called RIL. It is into manufacture of product X, which is covered in table A. Table A. Table A. How much? 15 CR. What is the turnover? 15 CR for product X. For product Y. Product Y, is it really manufactured? No. Product Y, we are just trading. We just buy goods and sell goods. The same company is doing the same. Product Z. What is Z? It is not product, in fact, it is providing services, which is also mentioned in table A. Which is also mentioned in table A. Last one is 15 crores. So aggregate turnover we need to see. Aggregate turnover more than or equal to 35 crores. Then cost accounting rules are applicable. We need to maintain the cost records. Okay, after this question is over, write a statement. Write a statement. For this company, for this company, for this company, cost accounting rules are applicable applicable and cost records are to be maintained. What is the reason? Because aggregate turnover is more than or equal to 35 cr. Okay, and while calculating ATO turnover related to manufacture plus trading plus services must be included. Simple only, must be included. Easy now. Must be included. తర్వాత ఏం చేయాలి? What next? Is the answer over? No. However, cost records are to be maintained. Cost records are to be maintained for such goods or services which are mentioned in rule 3, that is table A6, table B 33. Table A6 to table B 33. Simple. Today there is a lot of improvement in my handwriting. See, it is very beautiful. I changed my tab. I am able to see the screen. Fine. So second question, practical insight 2 RIL. Again another example. RIL, it deals with this time product A manufacture, which is there in table A, product B, it is trading. Is what? Trading, not mentioned in any table A or table B, it is not mentioned. Providing service, providing service, which is also not mentioned in table A or table B. Okay, so here 20 lakhs ka, what is it? 20 crores. Here also 20 crores, but here there is no turnover at all. Table A product A, there is no turnover at all. In that particular year, what happened? What is the aggregate turnover? ATO, it is more than or equal to 35 crores, because it is 40, 20 plus 20. But is the cost, are the cost records to be maintained? This is the question. Cost aggregate turnover crossed 35. Unfortunately, cost records concept is not applicable in this case because there is no turnover at all for those goods which are mentioned in rule 3, 39 goods. 39 sectors, there is no turnover at all. When the turnover is not there, again cost records are not applicable. So this is given in FAQ issued by ICMA. Okay, when there is no turnover at all, for those goods which are mentioned in table A or table B, though the turnover may be crossing 35 crores, aggregate turnover may be crossing 35 crores, but cost records are not to be maintained by this company. Because of what reason? Because there is no turnover for such goods which are mentioned in table A, B, C. So write down A, B, not C. Write the reason for the reason. Write reason. Cost records are not applicable. The company is not required to maintain cost records. Though the turnover crossed, though the aggregate turnover crossed, though the aggregate turnover crossed 35 crores. 35 crores. Because there is no turnover. There is no turnover of such goods. There is no turnover of such goods which are mentioned in table A or table B of rule 3. Suppose in the same question, when the turnover of table A is only 10 lakhs, When it comes to product B and service, it is 40 crores. Is it applicable? Yes, it is applicable. There must be some turnover. There again, the minimum turnover limits are not given. And hence, even 10 lakh rupees, even 15 lakh rupees turnover is there for product A. Then what is applicable? Cost records are to be made applicable. Okay, very simple. Easy. So read the rule number 3 again. Rule number 3 directly from the website. We will write it in detail now. Yesterday we have just written a summary. So now we'll write detailed paragraph of rule. Applicability of turnover limits. Okay. Let me tell you. Central government rule 3 and big side heading you need to keep. Big side head. Central government by an order prescribed class of by an order prescribe the class of companies including foreign company including foreign company including foreign company which are engaged in point number 1 producing goods. Point number 1, producing goods. Point number two, providing services. Providing services. Specified in table A or table B. Table A or table B. Table A or table B. Of rule 3. Of rule 3. When its aggregate turnover of all its products and services, aggregate turnover of all its products and services is more than or equal to 35 crores. Is more than or equal to 35 crores. More than or equal to 35 crores. 35 crores. During immediately preceding financial year. Okay? Preceding financial year. Immediately preceding financial year. Okay? Second point, which is very important. Second point. Such companies shall prepare cost records. Such companies shall prepare cost records for such goods which are mentioned in table A or B. Such goods which are mentioned in table A or B of rule number 3. Of rule number 3. Easy only. In table number A, how many products are there? 6. In table number B, let us see 1, 2, 3. Propellant powder, prepared explosives. See, all the first 4 are defense equipment. First one, defense equipment. Second one, turbojets. Third one, arms and ammunitions. Propellant powder, prepared explosives. All these are destructive items. Okay, defense items. Radar apparatus, radio navigational aid apparatus, tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, motorized. Tarvata port services, aeronautical services, iron and steel, roads and infrastructure, rubber and allied products, coffee and tea. All this is manufacturing only. Cement, ores and mineral products, railway and tramway locomotives. The railway tramway locomotives, rolling stock, railway and tramway fixtures and fittings, manufacture of all these items. Base metals, mineral fuels, inorganic chemicals, jute and jute products, edible oil, construction industry, health services, health services, including running hospitals, health services is also included. And educational services. Educational services are also recognized in 33. So they are also required to maintain cost records. Education, when their turnover crosses 35 lakhs, what will happen? Cost records they need to maintain. For form number CRA1. What is CRA1? Maintenance of cost records. We need to follow CRA1 for educational institutions also when the turnover is more than 35 crores. So mineral milk powder, insecticides, plastics and polymers, tires and tubes, pulp, paper, textiles, glass, other machinery and mechanical appliances, electrical and electronic machinery. See the last one, very beautiful point, which is significantly different from first 32. See, production, comma, import and supply. Import and supply. We are buying from foreign and we are supplying such goods. Import and supply. Generally, trading activity is not covered. However, in point number 33, even the trading is also covered. See, we are importing some machineries from foreign and we are supplying those machineries here itself. So, what kind of products? Medical devices. See, trading of following medical devices. Cardiac stents, drug-eluting stents, catheters. So, all these are medical products, medical devices. So, for medical devices, even the supply comes under cost records. Generally, supply is not included. Cost records are not applicable for trading activity. However, for this point number 33, even trading activity will be covered under cost records. So only for this 33. See, there are 15 subpoints are given. 20 or 20 subpoints are given. All this is medical devices only. All these are medical devices only. For these products, even the supply will be covered under cost records maintenance. Okay, this is 33. However, there is some provision. Provided that nothing contained in serial number 33. What is 33? Medical devices supply. Nothing contained in serial number 33 shall apply to a foreign company having only liaison offices. Mediating offices are there here. So we are not importing directly from the foreign. Okay, that foreign company is only having a place of business mediating office in India. They are not having their existence in India, only licensing office is there. For them, these cost records are not applicable. If the foreign company which is located outside India and they are supplying goods in India by having a office in India which is called as licensing office. There is no plant, there is no original setup, there is only licensing office which is there in India. And for them, what is not applicable? Cost records maintenance is not applicable. And going forward, another provision is also there. Another provision. Read that another provision. Provided further that nothing contained in this rule, under rule number 3 shall apply. Rule number 3 is not applicable. Nothing contained another. When nothing contained is given, it is not applicable only. So rule number 3 is not applicable to a company which is classified as micro enterprise or small enterprise, including as per the turnover criteria of section number 7 of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Act, MSMED Act. MSMED Act. Let me write this. After I write, you can just copy. I'll give some time. Please listen to me. Okay. See, there is one act called as MSMED Act. What is the full form? Micro, Small, Medium Enterprise Development Act. Okay. In this act, there are 3 types of companies that are in existence. One, it is micro. The second one, it is small. The third one, it is medium. There is a turnover criteria which is given in section number 7 of this act. Turnover criteria to classify this as small, micro or medium. Okay. So there is a company. Imagine a case where Reliance Industries Limited or Ravi Industries Limited is registered under MSMED Act. MSMED Act as micro company or as small company. If it is registered under these 2 categories, then cost records are not applicable. Cost records are not applicable. If it is registered as medium, then it is applicable. So this is the exception which is given for rule number 3 again. Okay, so for rule number 3, there are 2 more exceptions. Yesterday we have written 148 exceptions. Section number 148 we have seen the exception. Okay, 3 exceptions are there. Now I am talking about rule number 3 exceptions. So write rule number 3. Second point. In the rule number 3 heading Peter, అందులో write point number 3. Write point number 3. Supply of products is generally not applicable. Supply of products is not generally applicable. Supply of products is not generally applicable. Okay. For rule 3. For rule 3, supply means what? Trading. However, entry number 33 of table B specifies what? Importation and supply of medical devices. Importation and supply of medical devices. Full stop. Medical devices. Hence, trading activity is applicable. Hence, trading activity is applicable for cost records maintenance purpose. Cost records maintenance purpose. Cost records maintenance purpose. For supply of medical devices. For supply of medical devices. For supply of medical devices. Easy? What is the second exception? Another exception. Right. Point number 4. Point number 4. What can be written? If a company is registered as, if a company is registered as అది రాద్దామా, లైజనింగ్ ఆఫీస్ రాద్దామా, అంత అవసరం లేదన్నా అబ్సెంట్. ఇది రైట్ చాలు. So if the company is registered as micro enterprise or small enterprise, micro enterprise or small enterprise under MSMED Act, under MSMED Act 2006, MSMED Act 2006. What is MSMED? Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Act 2006. So if a company is registered as micro enterprise or small enterprise under MSMED 2006, then rule number 3 is completely not applicable. Rule number 3 is completely not applicable. You tell me one thing, when rule number 3 is not applicable, automatically rule number 4 is also not applicable. Rule number 4 talks about cost audit. Cost audit starts when there is rule 3 which is applicable. When the books of accounts are not maintained, how is it possible for verification of the books of accounts, audit of books of accounts. It is not possible, and hence rule number 4 is also not applicable in this case. Okay, very simple. Yes, we are done with rule number 3. Other complications also. Okay, let's write rule number 4. It is even more complicated than rule 3 because there are two conditions. Open SDS chart and read rule number 4 once. Take 2 minutes time and read. Rule number 4. Rule number 4. Those companies which are covered under rule number 3, that is 148 subsection number 1, then they may be applicable for cost audit based on the turnover limits. Turnovers are divided into two parts: regulated sector, non-regulated. Regulated is nothing but table A, non-regulated is nothing but table B. Okay, table A, there are again two conditions. Both must be satisfied.
Yes.
So aggregate turnover of all the products, how much? Greater than or equal to 50 crores. Greater than or equal to 50 crores. Individually, each product or products, aggregate of product or products, how much? 25 crores if it crosses in the preceding financial year, then also then cost audit is applicable. Okay, so let me read this point also carefully. I am opening applicability of cost audit. Applicability of cost audit. See, every company specified in item A. Item A of rule 3 is nothing but table A. Okay, table A shall get its cost records audited in accordance with these rules if the overall turnover of the company from all of its products during the immediately preceding financial year is rupees 35 crores or more. Rupees 35 crores or more, and the aggregate turnover of the individual product. Let me write like this: 35 or 50 or 50 crores or more. See, table. What is table A? Yes, regulated sector. All of its products, aggregate turnover of all its products or services more than or equal to 50 crores in the immediately preceding financial year, PFY, immediately preceding financial year. This is point number 1. And let me read point number 2 also for you. Read it carefully. While reading point number 2, pay attention. And the aggregate turnover of the individual product or products. Aggregate turnover of individual product or products or services for which the cost records are required to be maintained. So, under the individual product must be covered under rule 3. So, individual product must be covered under rule 3. See here, aggregate turnover of the individual product or products or services for which cost records are required to be maintained under rule 3. Okay, for this I just want to, how much is the individual turnover? 25 crores. 25 crores. Let me write an example for this. Let me write the example. Say there is a company called as RIL. Listen to me carefully. Okay, RIL. There is one product A. Product A. Product B. Product B. And product C. Product C. Okay. Product A, it is mentioned in table A. It is mentioned in table A. It is not mentioned. It is not mentioned. Table A lo ledu, table B is also not there. Okay, so product B and C, it is not mentioned in rule number 3. Okay, product A, imagine a case where it is 15 CR. It is 15 CR. Product A 15 CR. Product X 30 CR. Product B. Product B 30 CR. Product C 30 CR. Now you tell me, what is the aggregate turnover? ATO 75 CR, which is more than 50 crores. Now, is the cost audit applicable or not? Is the cost audit applicable or not? This is the question. Cost audit, is it applicable? Products annaru, he is saying it is applicable. Products ante 15, 30, 30. All must be added in this case as
Rule 3 లో ఉండాలి.
Rule 3 లో ఉండాలి. Rule 3 లో there is only table number A and product number A is covered in that. Only product A is covered under rule 3. Which is less than 25 CR. Individually, which is less than 25 CR. Aggregate may be crossing. First condition is satisfied, but the second condition is not satisfied, and hence cost audit records are not applicable. Not applicable. What is the reason for the same? What is the reason for the same? Cost audit is not applicable in this case. Let me ask you another question. Rule 3, is it applicable?
Yes.
Rule 3, it is applicable. Yes. Yes. Cost records must be maintained. Because of what reason? Aggregate turnover crossed 35 lakhs and there is some turnover in product A which is covered under table A, and hence cost records are applicable, but cost audit is not applicable. Cost audit is not applicable because two conditions must be satisfied. First condition is satisfied. First one crossed 50 crores. That is 75 in this example. But the second condition, which talks about what? Individual turnover of the products which are covered under table A or B. A or B. And those products turnover is not crossing 25. Suppose in the same example, if I write like this, 25 CR. 25 CR, then what is the answer? What is the total? 85 CR. 85 CR. So first condition is satisfied. Aggregate turnover crossed 50 crores. Second condition, product or products, out of 3 products, one product is crossing 25 crores. One product is crossing 25 crores. Okay, and hence cost audit is applicable in this case. Cost audit is applicable in this case. Let me ask you another question. Is the cost audit applicable for product A or product B or product C or all product ABC? Yes. For product B and product C, books of accounts is not required to be prepared. And hence, how come you audit the same? It's not possible. And hence, cost audit is restricted to only product A in this case. So, answer would be in this case, cost audit is applicable, and the cost audit is applicable only for product A because it is covered under table A, and because the maintenance of books of accounts rules are also applicable for table A product only. That's it. Okay. So 2 examples we need to write. Let me change the first example. Change to first example. What is this? 15 huh? Yes, 15 CR. What is the total? 75. Please write. Copy. It is very much worthy to have this in your notes. Very important. So write, copy this. After writing 80 or 75 crores, let me know. I will dictate. Okay. Yes. Cost audit is not applicable in this case. Cost audit is not applicable in this case. Because rule number 4 is applicable. Rule number 4 is applicable only when two conditions are satisfied. Only when two conditions are satisfied. Only when two conditions are satisfied. Condition number 1. Condition number 1. What is condition number 1? Aggregate turnover greater than or equal to 50 crores. This first condition satisfied or not? Yes. First condition is satisfied in my given example. Okay. Come to point number 2. Come to point number 2. What is second condition? Right as I say. Okay. ఎందుకంటే little tricky. So let me say something. Aggregate turnover of product or products of table A or table B. Aggregate ఏమన్నా సార్? Aggregate turnover of product or individual product or products. Aggregate turnover of individual product or products which are covered under table A or table B of which rule? Rule 3. Rule 3. More than or equal to 25 crores. More than or equal to 25 crores. Which is not satisfied. Which is not satisfied in the given example. Which is not satisfied in the given example. Which is not satisfied in the given example. And hence, cost audit is not applicable. Cost audit is not applicable. Okay. Suppose in the same question, if product A's turnover is 26 crores or 25 crores, if product A's turnover is 25 crores, product A's turnover is 25 crores, then cost audit is applicable. Cost audit is applicable for which product? Is applicable for product A only. Product A only. Very important question. Product A only. Okay. So let us have another example. Another small example. So listen to me very carefully. It is really very tricky. Okay. So there is a company called as RIL. Product A, imagine 10 CR. Product A 10 CR, which is mentioned in table A also. Product A which is mentioned in table A 10 CR. Product B which is mentioned in table B. Okay, table B. Table B రాయద్దు, అందక write it as table A only. Table A only. Okay, now you tell me. It is 15. It is 15. Product C, which is nowhere mentioned. Nowhere mentioned. This is 30 CR. This is 30 CR. What is total?
55.
How much? 55 CR. 55 CR. Is the cost audit applicable?
Yes, sir.
For the applicability of the cost audit, we need to check two conditions. First condition, aggregate turnover crossed 50 crores or not? Yes, it crossed 50 crores because it is 55. The second condition, individual turnover must cross 25. But individual turnover doesn't cross 25 here. Aggregate of individual products which are covered under table A or table B. Aggregate, and hence aggregate, which comes to 25, which is more than or equal to 25 crores, and hence cost audit is applicable in this case, and which applies to both
Product A.
product A and product B. This is the conclusion for this exam. Okay, please write. Clarity మామూలుగా ఉండకూడదు, మైండ్ పోవాలి. Okay, very easy. One interesting point you must write. This is also an FAQ which is given by institute. Okay, cost audit, once it is applicable based on its turnover limits of previous year, once it is applicable, there may be a drop in the next year's turnover, but still the cost audit is applicable. So once it is applicable, it is forever applicable. Very important point. Okay, once the cost audit is applicable based on the previous year turnover, there may be a case where the turnover may come down below the turnover limits, but still in those years cost audit is applicable. This is what we need to write now. So important note. Rule of important note. What is that note? Once the cost audit is applicable, it is forever applicable. Though in the subsequent years, turnover may be less than what? Turnover may be less than 50 crores. Turnover may be less than 50 crores. 50 crores and the turnover may be less than prescribed limits. Turnover may be less than prescribed limits. Don't write it as 50 crores because sometimes it is 100, and hence don't write it as 50. Write it as prescribed limits. Very important. Next point. Please write next important point. turnover includes sales from scrap also. Turnover includes sales from scrap. Scrap sales, when we do, we get some value, and that should also form part of aggregate turnover. Okay. Next point. Manufacture and sale of wooden furniture. Manufacture and sale of wooden furniture whose turnover crossed the prescribed limits. Whose turnover crossed prescribed limits. Whose turnover crossed prescribed limits. Rule 3 and rule hyphen petit. Please keep hyphen and write. Rule 3 and 4 are not applicable. Rule 3 and 4 are not applicable. Because such product is not covered under table A and table B. And this wooden furniture manufacture, it is not there in 39 products. So it is not covered under regulated sector. It is not covered under non-regulated sector. Table A low it is not there. Table B low also it is not there. And hence, irrespective of the turnover may be 35 crores, 50 crores, 100 crores, whatever it may be. But still, rule number 3 and rule number 4 is not applicable. Cost accounting records and cost audit is not applicable for the person who is engaged in manufacture and sale of wooden furniture, because it's not covered under 39 industries. That's it. Okay. So I just want to wind up the session now. It is 10 o'clock now. So we'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.